What's up, peeps? Welcome back to Copper Cactus DIY. I'm Jen, and in today's video, I'm giving you the backstage access to my studio glow up. I'll take you on a before and after tour of the space, as well as share all 10 furniture makeovers that I completed for this room.
Beautiful.
Plus a little extra. I kicked it all off with these curtains as my inspo. I'm hyper organized, otherwise I forget to do most things. I've always been this way, but as I age, the mind seems to just retain less and less. Anyway, I wanted to make sure nothing fell through the cracks with my work life, so I set up an 8-month calendar on a whiteboard. In the beginning in this space, I only had a plastic grocery bag propped open inside a makeshift trash can that I created out of a cardboard box. This actually worked like a charm for a long time, but eventually we ran out of small plastic bags and the gallon type bags were just way too big. I only had one choice: to replace my kitchen trash container cabinet with one that has a sealing lid, and then make over the old trash container cabinet for my studio. I made this piece over during the challenge that I hosted in the summer of 2025 called Beach Please. My goal was to get a bright and light coastal vibe from the pickling stain that I used on this main part of the outside of this cabinet. I got a nice pop of brightness with the red that I used on the inside. I also decoupaged a cute nautical scene on the sides of these drawers. The most work that I did, though, went into the top of this trash container cabinet thingy. I wanted to try to achieve driftwood using realistic looking cracks, and I attempted many layers and many different techniques to try to get the vibe I was looking for. I never quite got there, but in the end, it turned out okay. Luckily, these mermaid tails that I painted with multiple colors that I would be using in the rest of the room, I used these as hardware. They saved the day on this piece. Make sure you stay tuned to see how I'm using this cabinet today. I couldn't have been more grateful to Mr. CC DIY for the help in putting together these 5-drawer melamine cabinets. This type of cabinet isn't my ideal choice. I'd much rather have something solid wood and not coated particle board. However, in defense of the melamine, it is light, it's mobile, and it's easy to move around a rental unit without scratching floors. I knew these wouldn't get daily use, and they're mostly holding things like my resin molds and jewelry findings. Nothing too heavy. I got them rolled into place and I set them up with full drawers. They stayed that way for about a year until I decided exactly what I wanted to do. Since these cabinets would ultimately live right next to my Beach Please makeover in my room, I wanted to make sure that everything, even if it didn't match, that it goes. I also decided that it was high time to do some hand painting in here. Once I picked a sunset theme and I saw what colors of spray paint that I had on hand, I knew I could match the trash container hardware colors. I sprayed and hand painted using various blues, purples, orange, pink, and coral shades. I'm still not super comfortable with hand painting, but I'm having a lot of fun learning to get better, and this was a terrific piece to use for practice. On the outside of the cabinet box, I used a pitch black chalk paint. That also went on the edges. Make sure you stick around for beauty shots to see the in-drawer tour. This is another piece that maintained its old makeover despite being in an entirely new environment for about 3 full years. I made this dresser over for a challenge a very long time ago, back when we lived in Phoenix, Arizona. After nearly 5 years with this foam as adornment, it needed a well-earned makeover. Unfortunately, I just had no idea what to do with this piece. So this swamp witch vibe held for a long time, until back in 2025, in December, a challenge came up and I knew that would be the perfect time to give this old gal a full refresh. I used 2 tones of paint, one very dark and one very bright, and I met them up in the middle. The coral shade was inspired by all the other coral tones on the rest of the furniture in the room, and the black, basically the same. Not to mention, my curtains have this deep cranberry color that sort of looks like coral in the right light. I also wanted to do some decoupage on the dresser, so I picked a super cute butterfly poster. The paper laid down very smoothly when it was weighted down and held flat. And I did a ton of hand painting to dull the shine on these decorative elements of the poster. Next time though, I might just hand paint because this took so long. It turned out nice though, and I will share final shots coming up soon. My plastic drawer units were a mix of black and white. I have a small file cabinet that's a plastic drawer base. It's black. I had black spray paint on hand and figured it would be easier to spray the white to black than vice versa. To start, I transferred all of my faux finishing tools to the tall cabinet and I waited for good weather so I could get with spraying. I used the 10-drawer cabinet as my inspo, and I gave my last melamine cabinet the exact same treatment, only I used 3 spray colors instead of 5. For that cabinet box, I also painted it black, but when I tried that on the inside, I got this super cool reaction, which I was calling accidental faux finish. I loved that, so I top coated everything and left it alone. I did 2 plastic cabinets in this room. They both got a scuff sand, and I applied 2 coats of a black spray paint, but I left the drawers of them clear. Those all turned out super cool, but again, wait for those beauty shots coming up in just a couple of minutes to see how everything finally turned out. I finished a long nagging project with this desk. This piece was broken since the day it arrived. That took me basically no time to fix, and I let that dry for a few days, clamped tight with tape. After unfurling my second rug in here, which I actually snatched from the guest room, I took a long time off before finishing all of my pieces. And here come my last 3 pieces. Starting with my small side table. This 2-drawer table had a textural finish that I had added to match the dresser in its green iteration. The bottom drawer never closed right after we moved, so I fixed that, cleaned the piece, and added a 2-tone light and dark makeover using, you guessed it, coral and black. This quick 2-day project was a fun one. My printer stand took quite a few days to finish, mostly due to dry time of my faux wood grain layers. I never liked the old faux finish on this piece, and I had wanted to change it pretty much since I did it. The base of this got a black refresh, then I used multiple tools, tinted glaze layers, and many techniques to create a more realistic faux walnut for the top. Using orange and purple in the base glaze layers helped to bring this into a super cool, nice match to the vibe of everything else in my studio. My last project was another green cabinet. This one is the last of the old swamp-inspired style pieces. I fixed issues, cleaned, primed, and added a bunch of fun paint colors, from blush pink to pumpkin orange. I started that in blended patches, then I used watered down drips running the length of the cabinet from top to bottom. I used black for the inside and also created a door with some super fun texture, paint, and decoupage paper that I hand painted with UV reactive paints. I attached the door, turned out the lights, and fired up the UV light on this last piece. Wait until beauty shots to see how it turned out. It's hard to believe this studio glow up took me nearly 3 years to complete, but here we are. Long or not, I love how the space turned out in the end. It was honestly awesome refinishing all 11 of these pieces of furniture to fit my style while still staying in the confines of this rental. Be sure to subscribe if you like videos like this, and give this one a thumbs up if you did like it. I'll link a playlist at the end so you can watch all these pieces come together in real time. But that's it for today. Here comes the final review and tour. Thanks so much for being here and watching. Later, peeps!